see my glasses?
What glasses?
Well, I can't see without my glasses.
Nah, I can't see them, mate. I won't see them.
Okay. I like to start in 1916 when the Sherman tank was invented and Adrian was not born or conceived. At least I hope not. But the merchant seamen of our time were the most valuable asset to the colony, to the country. And I say this because in my relationship and discovery of Adrian, I found a deep link with the water and the sea, in so much as I believe his father was a merchant seaman, and this whole thing has sort of grown in his songwriting, and I heard that at a very early stage, and it really attracted me to his writing. I fell in love with Ado and his music because it was just really like art form. It wasn't, he's not Frank Sinatra, but he could be Billy Eckstine on a good night, for those of you who know Billy Eckstine. But he's a performer, and his songwriting abilities in the way he constructs songs, to me was just like very powerful and mesmerizing, and that's what drew me into him. To me, there are no demos. If you're in a situation where the technical quality is passable, good, it's all down to the performance. And the first time you sort of commit that and you do it, you get something that you're really going to struggle to get again and again. It's almost impossible. So why this whole thing of like, oh well, we didn't know we were recording, we weren't doing it properly, it's bullshit. It's like, that was the first seed that was laid, and that's the most important thing. So it's better to keep that and build on that rather than take away from it, because the more you do it again and again, you lose things each time, and for what you gain, you lose too much, I think. Programmed music, and some of it I enjoy, but a lot of it, you hear it once and you don't hear it again. When you do hear it again, it doesn't have any effect on you because nothing changes. It's so linear, it's so perfect. Sure. But perfect is not what music's about. Music is about expression and not mistakes, but it's about feeling and movement. And if something is locked to a grid which never changes, then the expression and the feeling can't change. That's quite difficult. Some Girls,
which was the Stones thing.
Yeah. Start Me Up. Or can I have more than three?
Yeah, have as many as you want.
Love Like Blood, Killing Joke. That was simply just an incredible relationship that we struck up. I first met them in Olympic Studios in London to record and produce 80s. And everybody said, "You're working with Killing Joke, you're mad. They're demons, they're crazy." But they're so seriously motivated by the power of the music and what they're doing that turns them into something quite fearful. And I had a great respect for that. And that just led to a relationship which went on and on for like 2 albums. That's when I discovered something new about music working with them. I always thrive on learning something new from whoever I'm working with, whether they're 20 years my junior or older or whatever. I can't work with anyone unless I really learn something from them or absorb something from them. I can't work on a project where there's it's just like nothing. And I learnt so much just about certain keys have a certain effect on the soul, on the body, musically, from jazz and Killing Joke, and it was a wonderful experience. It was kind of crazy but controlled. I look back in fondness at the records where my engineering was 10 years after. There's a song called "I'd Love to Change the World," where I put the whole of the vocal through a Leslie, and no one had done that. That hadn't been done before. It was, like as creative as Ichiku Park with phasing, and it was great because Michael Moore used, I'd love to change the word, as his trailer song for Fahrenheit 9/11.
Fantastic.
Very good choice of song.
Fantastic.
Because that's exactly what George Bush is doing, as long as his daddy's there. And the Stones aspect is really the thing I was talking about, where you create an atmosphere where they don't know they're being recorded.
Right.
But when they come in and listen, they go, wow. They never talk about the sound or anything. I'm going to take my hat off.
Okay. Well, that brings us neatly on to Ado's album, I guess.
It's a hit. This is like the cosmic underground temple of Adrian, with the guitars and the violins. It kind of took me. It took me back to there's a band called Cactus World News I worked with. Cactus World News. Orchestral sound, the balance between the guitar and the violin, very simple, just two instruments, but creates this vast sort of depth of music. I love. And to use Submarine as a hook line, that's pure genius. My New Song's a 49 bus, but it doesn't really have the same sort of value as Submarine. And what I love about his lyrics is they guide you to so many different things. There's just a lot of depth in his lyrics. I suppose that happens if you're born in Sheffield. And you support Watford Wanderers. We're now going to Tampere. A small hotel in the middle of a cold, icy terrain. Last bottle of vodka's been drunk, and Ado picks up the guitar to give you his feelings about he's in love.
My life is an empty page. Does anybody wanna scroll a name there? Hotel room, tempura. Wish I knew what was
I tell you, listen to his lyrics. It's like picking up a book from the 17th century. It's really his use of the language is quite exceptional and unique. That was the other big attraction, apart from the size of his boots, of course. Adrian has a very delicate soul, and then he found the guitar and made a racket with the delicate soul.